Since that Chelsea loss Barcelona had in the Champions League a few weeks or months ago, Barcelona have won 19 games. They've won, 17 of them. They've lost 2 games in those 19 games since that Chelsea match. That is unbelievable. This Barca team, and the rest are not draws. Those are wins. You can look here in this Barcelona fixture match. You just see green after green after green. It's unbelievable. They had a little shaky towards, but look, it's just since that Chelsea match, they looked unbelievable, and I think this is the most consistent team or consistent version of Barca we've seen this season. And if the way that they're playing, the way that they have their team, they're gonna win La Liga for sure. Real Madrid are nowhere near the level and I guess the rhythm of how Barcelona is, nowhere near. So I think Barcelona. But before, please make sure to subscribe. We're almost hit at 110, which is crazy. But besides that, they for me, I've always noticed is Barcelona in the first half, they never look their best in the first half of matches. You can say that about any of their games in the Copa del Rey, in the Champions League, and La Liga. For some reasons, in first halves, the first 45 minutes, they're nowhere near at their best. And then, boom, I don't know what Flick tells them. And in the second half, they just look completely different. And that's what happened here today. Lamine didn't really have a huge impact in the first half. Mallorca had chances to score, but they just couldn't. That's one thing teams really suffer a lot against Barcelona. They have chances to score. They get the chances. They just don't convert them for some odd reason. It could be Joan Martinez or Joan Garcia just being a good goalie, or it could just be the strikers that don't know how to kick a ball. But besides that, Barcelona, or they just no. Like Dani Olmo, he had a great game. He gets clowned a lot, especially by Barcelona fans, I've noticed, and it's always an up and down for him. It's always, he can have really, just a poor game, and then next thing you know, he plays great, like how he did this match. Same thing with Lewandowski. He gets a lot of hate, and then when he scores, they love him. And that's something here. Lamine scores his 10th goal in La Liga. I'm pretty sure he already passed his last season tally of goals in the league. So, props to Lamine. He is 100% worthy to in the ranks of the Ballon d'Or rank, to win it. Obviously, he's been superb, and there's been situations. He's not there. He's not a crazy goal scorer. I think Ferran Torres is Barcelona's top goal scorer. Another player who gets hate, and then next he performs out of their mind. He's just really just key player for there. And Eric Garcia, who's always been, the season, the starlet, or the star, I guess, center back you want to say. He's really come up, especially even last season, you can say, but this season in particular, he's came out of nowhere. People thought his Barcelona days were done. Went on to Girona, did good there, qualified for Champions League, came back to Barca, and now slowly solidifying himself as a key member into this Barcelona squad. I'm really happy for him. One thing as a Madrid fan that I hate seeing is there's a lot of players in Barca that I actually really like. I like Fermin. I like Lamine. Pedri's the best midfielder in the world for me. Garcia and Kubarsi, as huge fans for that. Bernal gets his first goal for Barcelona. Props for him after that terrible ACL injury that he had a year or so ago, maybe less. But big props to Mark Bernal. One thing Flick has always stated towards the beginning of the season was talking about egos, and I feel like he's slowly managing about that. You don't hear much about Lamine Yamal. People are saying, "Oh, Lamine will do this," and now changing up, trying to the post and what he does outside the club and the parties, whatever. And so you don't really hear much about that. I feel like Flick is a manager that 100% can take control of a dressing room, something Madrid players just don't want to allow for some reason. And that's why Barcelona are in this situation. That's why Real Madrid are in their own terrible situation. There's differences. There's levels to it. And the Barcelona players are, free, and they allow themselves for change for that. So, huge thing for Barcelona. Mallorca, like I said, had a few chances. Virgil, Virgil. He had good. He looked great in the first half. Pablo Torre, a former Barcelona player who did not play. Is he not in here? Oh, he is. I'm blind. I was about to say, Pablo Torre, former Barcelona player. For me, I really thought he could have been something for Barca. I think he could have joined a better team in La Liga. Really, I think he's 100% talented, and every time he played, I feel like he just didn't get the minutes that he deserved. Um, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, Barcelona are 100% going to carry away La Liga. They're just more consistent. They're more um, in a better shape than Real Madrid. Not on player paper wise, but as a whole, the players and people might say, "Oh, look at the point difference." If Madrid win, they're a point down. Before this match, they were a point down, and they're in a 5 game win streak. But if you watch these games, they are terrible. They are nowhere near good. Nowhere near Real Madrid, or nowhere near them. Sevilla match, like it's weird. You have this Real Betis, 5-1, Gonzalo Garcia. You're livid. You have that Monaco game, 6-0 or whatever it was. You're livid. But then you see these matches, and they don't convince you. They don't convince you especially that Rayo match. They were horrible. I mean, horrible. A team like that throughout an entire season is not. You're not going to win a trophy by playing like that. So, and then of course you have Barca, who do have lost in the last 5, but they play miles better than Real. So, huge win. And the next match is in the Copa del Rey, which starts really soon against Atletico, two legs. Um, they don't have Pedri for this match, I believe, so it's gonna be a good match, especially the way Atletico looked during the match against Betis, who do have injured players and haven't looked their best. They have good players, but um, this one's actually gonna be a really good match. I really wanted to. We'll do it. Let's go play. Play tomorrow. Yeah, they play against Betis, so we'll see a rematch with that and see how it goes. But at the moment, I'm gonna have a Let's Go judging off of the performance a few days ago. But if it changes tomorrow, then obviously you're gonna have Barcelona.